Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Bros, and today we're going to be talking about the Overcoat by Nikolai Gogol. Now, before I go into the summary and analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right. Today we're going to be talking about the Overcoat, but more specifically, Akaki Akakiyevich. All right, so we're really going to be following this guy throughout the short story, and basically what happens within the short story. Akaki Akakiyevich. Yeah, it's a very interesting name. It's a tough name to pronounce, but it's Akaki Akakiyevich. There you go. So Akaki, really interesting individual. What I mean by that is he's not important. The narration here of this work, the narrator really tells us that this guy nobody cares about. His birth was not significant. His life was not significant. He really becomes more significant after he dies within this work. But really, nobody cares about Akakievich. Nobody really cares about him too much. His coworkers make fun of him. He has this coat that's really grimy and finished and worn out, and his clothes are usually worn out. He doesn't have any money, no valuables, no wife, no kids, no nothing. He's in his 50s, and basically he's lived a life that's pretty much forgettable. Nobody really takes a look at him. The janitors don't respect him. His coworkers don't respect him. Nobody respects him. He's just this guy that just copies papers within this office, and no one really cares. Now, within this work, what happens is he gets a new overcoat. He gets a new coat. And basically, after that, the tailor makes a really good work of it. It's really expensive, and he had to save up and use pretty much all of his money, a lot of his money. Like, he had to save up, go hungry even, to save up money to buy this, to have this overcoat made for him. And it's a really nice coat. It makes him look more proper, more rich, more valuable. And his coworkers take notice, and people on the street take notice. They're like, oh man, this is a guy of importance because he looks the part, right? This is, in terms of deeper meaning here, this is one story that kind of shows you how important it is to look your best, because people do respect you more when you look like you're worth something. So the story goes on, and Akakiyevich, his coworkers, they treat him better. They even invite him out to spend time with them, to drink with them. And because of his coat, that's all had to change. Just he changed his coat, and his coworkers respect him more. And pretty much the story goes on, and Akakiyevich, his coat actually just gets stolen. He gets jumped. They beat him up a little bit. They take the coat, and there's a bunch of running around. He goes, tells the police. The police push him around. Nobody really cares about him. Somebody at work tells him to go see someone of importance, and the guy of him and the person of importance really, like, it's like, what did you come here for? It's like, why did you, doesn't respect Akakiyevich, and the person of importance doesn't even want to help him out. So, Akakiyevich. I really like saying his name. That's why I keep doing that. But I really like saying his name. So Akaki, he runs around trying to find somebody to help him to get this coat back. Nobody will help him. And ultimately, he runs in the cold. And again, this is Russia, all right? The setting of this work is Russia. Russia is cold, people. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Russia is cold, and so basically the story goes on. He runs in the cold without a coat, and he gets a fever, and he gets sick, and the doctor comes in, and the doctor says, well, order him to his landlady. The doctor says, order him a pine coffin, because he probably can't afford anything else. So they bury him, and nobody makes a peep, because nobody cared about Akakiyevich. He was insignificant, no kids, no wife, no friends, no nothing. And his coworkers learn about his death 3 days after he dies, and they just replace him with somebody else, and life goes on. Now, after he dies, though, he becomes more famous, and people start paying attention to him, because there's a corpse of Akakiyevich that shows up stealing people's coat on the street, basically. And everybody's scared. The police are told to go hunt this corpse down and capture him and bring him to justice. But, the police can't go out there catching ghosts. I mean, they're not going to put their ghost detecting gear on and hit the streets and find these specters. Let me stop. Let me stop. So the police can't catch the ghost or the corpse. And ultimately, what happens? Akaki Akakiyevich's corpse steals the overcoat of the person of importance that he went to go and see. Then after that, the corpse disappears into the unknown. And the story pretty much ends with pretty much the story of Akaki Akakievich turning into this type of like folklore ghost story around Russia and around his city, pretty much saying like this man was a man that nobody cared about, a man who was not important, but he becomes important after his death. Because his corpse went around stealing coats because he had his coat stolen and he's cold, and the person of importance that was supposed to help him did not help him, and so that is the story. In terms of deeper meaning and analysis, there's a lot to uncover here. I mean, we could talk about material goods. Akaki didn't really have that much stuff, but the one thing of material goods, I guess you can say, that he had was his coat, and that gets stolen from him, and he dies afterward. So I guess you can say in a way, material goods never really fulfill one's life. There's a lot of millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires in the world, and people who are making lots of unthinkable money, but it doesn't fulfill your life, because the thing I'll say is that no matter how rich you get in this life, after 100 years you'll be dead and gone. All right, you'll be dead and gone after 100 years or so, and you know, um, you should find something in life that is much more valuable to you, because you can buy a mansion, you can get that private jet and the cars and everything, but after like a year, 2 years, 5 years of flying in jets and cars and nice houses, you get used to it. So it's important to surround yourself with people that you love, and learn how to love other people, and learn how to have good friends around you and things like that. Find something in life that's long lasting, something that could potentially last beyond this life. Find someone to love, or find someone to love you, because those things will last a lifetime. Those things last forever. Um, but it's really sad what happens to Akaki Akakievich. This narrator, the story holds nothing back. They really say how much of insignificant Akaki Akakievich is, and how he's just not someone that anybody really cares about. And only when he becomes a corpse and haunting people, and taking people's coats, that's when he finally gets recognized. So his life was a life of isolation, loneliness, nothingness. Never truly fell in love, didn't have any kids, didn't have that much money, didn't have that much stuff. Even when he dies, all his stuff that he left behind, no one really cared about it, because it had no significance. Nobody cared about the thing. Even his birth is like, whatever. So it's like really sad to see how this man lived his life and died, and how he becomes a specter at the end of his life. So yeah, that's the story of Akaki Akakievich. Again, I do have to say he does have a cool name though, because that just the sounds and the rhythm of the name is it's just cool. I mean, just think about it. And now, coming to the stage, Akaki Akakievich. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, that is the story. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.